Hey, Mike.
Hey Dan. So this is our first recording ever.
It is.
I
It
got my
is.
I got my
I,
headset. You get your headset.
I got my white T-shirt. We're good to go.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. So this is really just what do we sound like? I'm convinced that I need to upgrade my talking skills. One, because I'm on the phone a lot. I'm
Hmm.
actually in this setting a lot, just with a collared shirt.
Yep.
And talking to people is how we're going to get stuff done. So
You are correct.
one of the things I did that was really hard was doing public speaking class in college. Um, I wish that I recorded those not lectures, but those speaking, lecture. What do you call them when you stand up in front of somebody? Dialogues. I wish I
Orations.
Orations. I wish I recorded my orations.
Orations. Orations.
Orations. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did that. So I have no idea how good I was. When I was in high school, we recorded one. It was really bad. Everybody in the class did really, really bad, and I had no stage presence. So I'd like to get some kind of stage presence. So that's what this is good for. You learn when you add words like or as, or my big word is so. I like to end on the word
Hmm.
so.
Yeah. That's something I gotta get better at. Also, we can always get better at things like that. Now, on with the show. So, what are we going to talk about today?
Goals, next steps. I like this thing we're doing with the next five things, or the next
Mhm.
five things. So today I did two really important things. I
Yep.
don't know what my next five are, so I'm gonna try to write them out. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
My next five things. I'm gonna write out five things. I definitely need bank accounts. I definitely need my business to be set up. There's no context for this, so if anyone ever listens to this, they're gonna be like, "What are they talking about?" Um,
Well, it's on Zoom. No one's going to listen to this.
well, correct. Well, I don't even know where this gets saved. Anyway, next five things: bank account, legal entity, insurance. It turns out insurance is very important. I woke up Saturday morning going, "How am I gonna run my trucks if I don't have insurance?"
Hmm.
Insurance is big. Obviously need the bank loan, and then purchase agreement. The seller actually sent me a purchase agreement yesterday, which I totally forgot about. I sent him a version last week. I literally got it from inkfile.com
Hmm.
and I plugged in the five things you're supposed to plug in. I just sent it to him. And his
Nice.
lawyer and him went back and forth and back and forth. They spent more time on it just talking about it than I did effort. And the lawyer rewrote it and he said, I made it a little bit more balanced. It was very much, towards the buyer side. So me being the buyer, I didn't even think anything of it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's what you want. Means that his lawyer's doing his job. Because when I
Yeah.
do deals, when I've done a deal, you try and overload it to your side so you have something to negotiate with. And if they don't negotiate, it's favorable for you. So that's the way it's always handled. It's fine.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I really just want to have something legal that makes sure the transaction is all valid. I would hate to give him $950,000 and the next thing I know, I don't have a business. He's got the money.
Yep. Can't have that.
Yeah.
Cannot have that.
Yeah. So that makes me think I probably should have worked on that a little bit today. But um, yeah, those are my next five. Do you think I missed anything? Bank account has to happen in order for me to move money from IRA to the bank account.
You have to have that done a month in advance so that you can access your funds once your business is ready to roll.
So that is why I am opening these bank accounts at the bank that is giving the loan so that they have the money.
Well, rule one, everyone sucks. The bank's no exception. They're going to screw it up.
People
So
suck. That's
people
right.
suck.
People suck. What was rule number two? We came up with a rule number two, didn't we?
If you can do it, do it now.
Do it now. Hey, case in point,
Here we
we're
are.
having this video conference right now. Yep. All right, cool. So those are my next five things. I have a very specific target that I've been working on for the last I think it's been 2 months now.
Yeah, about a month and a half.
I lost my job on May 15th, and it was probably within a week. that I decided I was going to try to go this route.
Hmm.
So it's probably been 9 weeks or so. Although
Yeah.
this thing wasn't in front of me until, I don't know, 8 weeks ago, not too long ago. So anyway, that's my next thing. Now yours is a little more complicated because you are still figuring it out.
Yeah. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. And everything's a little crazy right now. I mean, not just with me, but with the world. So
Hmm.
actually, nothing's crazy with me. I have a job. I am a salesman. So it's always honing. There's always something to do there. But, and you can make a lot of money being a salesman,
Hmm.
but I'm not going to make yacht money. I'm not going to make two, three house money, especially in today's economy. Like, if this is down for 2, 3 years, yeah, in 4 years, I'll make good money.
Hmm.
Until then, I'm not going to make good money. So, but I don't have any debt. I mean, I still have the houses in New York, but they're accounted for. They have buyers and they have cash flow. They're not a problem. So,
Yeah, you don't have consumer debt.
no, no. Yeah, well,
No.
I have a little bit of credit card debt and on my cars, but my company pays for my truck. The kids ride in the van, and next spring we're going to see a huge housing price correction, and we're going to see a lot of automakers. I think they're going to give a lot of rebates and deals too. So they're going to want to move inventory. They didn't move this year. Don't buy 2021. Buy 2020 or 2019. 2021s are going to suck.
You mean buy them? There's magic months. Buy them during the magic months. Like, is it April? Is that one of them? There's two
You
months where they're
no,
trying to move.
don't buy in April because that's tax season, so the price is going to be high. You want to buy in like January, February, and then truck month. Truck month is a good month, but you don't want to buy a model year 2021 because everyone's no one's making any money, so everyone's gonna cut things out of their vehicles, which means they're gonna
Right.
cut quality first.
Right.
Then they're gonna put in cheaper components, and now you're gonna have failing headlights, bad wiring systems, and crappy engines. So
Yeah.
don't buy 2021. They're gonna be cheap, junky cars forever.
Yeah. Just like you don't want to buy an '08 or '09. Those
Right.
are bad years.
Oh, seven's a good year, so 2019s, 2018s are gonna be good years, except for the new model Dodges. I wouldn't buy those either, but that's because they just came out with them. So
So I don't think I have my evaluation here, but there is a 2007 and a 2008 in the company that I'm buying trucks. There's 7 trucks. The 2007 and 2008, those are the backups. I should have them all memorized by now, but I don't. Um,
you have a 17, 16, 15, 8, 7, and a 3, and the 15 is F-150.
the 50, yeah, the 15 is a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Right. There's a 2017 Freightliner, a 2018 Freightliner, a couple Dodges, a Chevy, and a
Ford.
Ford 750.
Hmm.
So I asked Steve what he would buy next if he was going to buy, if he was going to buy something, what the next truck is, because the
Right.
plan is to grow the business. So there's going to be another truck, another driver,
Hmm.
and he was adamant. I don't know if I told you. He was immediate. Question: what truck would you buy next? And he said immediately. He didn't even give me a second to pause. An F-750 is what he would buy.
Really? Why did he give you a why?
Well, he kind of did. He said they're the biggest truck that's reliable and affordable at the same time. So it's like the sweet spot from his perspective. He loves Fords. I mean, he bought a Ford pickup truck. He definitely likes
Yeah.
Fords. And 750 is a bigger, obviously I don't know if it's the biggest. It's not the biggest model, but it's a big truck that can handle anything. It can handle 20s, 20 yarders.
Okay. That's good.
A lot of
But so
people
it's
can.
the biggest truck you can drive without a CDL?
No, no. I mean, the Freightliner's a little bit bigger.
Okay.
You got Freightliners that can haul 30 yarders, and those still don't require a CDL.
So why doesn't he like the Freightliner? Did he tell you?
Um, they cost more. They're going to cost 120 grand versus 90 grand. So you save 30 grand to buy a truck that's going to do everything you need. Going to
Hmm.
be something that a lot of people know how to work on. Parts are going to be very easy to come by, and he loves Fords. I mean, I like Dodges. I like those coming engines. but I don't know if there's a big difference between a 5500 Dodge and a 750 Ford. Maybe there is.
It depends. Depends on the build. Ford diesels, I don't know. Does it have a Ford diesel in it?
That's what don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you buy the truck. You buy your own truck. So I don't know if it would have a Detroit diesel engine in it. A D,
Depends on the engine.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean the spec on a truck is very important. I mean you're looking at your transmission, your gearing, your hydraulic system, your engine design and type,
Hmm.
liters. I mean that's all very important. And then you get the physical, how long is the truck? What's the axle weight? Like all that stuff is a factor.
Right.
The ride, I mean that is because you got a guy in there all day. You don't want him to be breaking his back. But I looking at those trucks, those internationals looked like crap. Those are what the Penske trucks are.
Yeah.
I would never dream of putting someone in that all day, every day. It was
Mm.
terrible. But it's a pretty simple. They're very simple in the cab. It's the engine and all the systems that are complicated. That's why the electrical goes and they're like, all right, it's been 6 years, it's gone, it's done.
Yeah. I think there's three lines of thinking when it comes to trucks. As far as when to buy them. So there's the buy it brand new, which means it's going to be very the financing will be very favorable. You're not going to put any money down. Maybe you can get 0%. A lot of incentives to do that, but it's going to cost a lot month to month. But you're the only one to drive that thing, and then you drive it for 7, 8 years, and then you
Mhm.
get rid of it, gone,
Yep.
and you don't have to worry about a lot of maintenance. If I mean, it should be anything that happens to that truck should be covered under some kind of warranty. If it
Right.
within, I mean, if it happens on year 6, well, that just sucks. But if it happens in year 3, I'd hope that'd be covered under a warranty. So that's number one.
Hmm.
Number two is you buy it from that person that had it for 6 or 7 years, and it's slightly used, going to need some repairs and maintenance. Maybe but it's all that like a lot of depreciation has been spent. Like
Yep.
you
So
lost.
Matt
Yeah,
Lopez, right? You buy so if you look at the curve on depreciation on vehicles, it starts here and then it goes like this, it dips again, and then it dips below the value line. And
yeah,
now anything between the line and the value that you buy it for is profit,
right.
except for you got to leverage that with the repair costs.
Exactly. So you need to be able to fix those vehicles, and you
Yep.
don't know what you're gonna have to fix. That's the thing that gets me is, okay, you're
Hmm.
gonna something big is gonna happen, but you don't. It could be any number of 10 things probably: transmission, engine, hydraulics. I don't know. I don't even know enough about trucks. Then there's the third option, which is you buy it when it's like garbage and like 100% depreciated,
Yep.
and it has no value, and you just
Beat
dump
it.
a ton of repairs into it. Yeah, and you beat it up. You put lipstick on it like it said pig, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And you just have a lot of those, and you just turn those, and you just always have trucks in the shop, and you just know that. So those are
That's
the
expensive.
three. Well, it depends on your model. I mean, if and it,
If
how your mechanic, how good your mechanics are.
if I was going to do that, I would do it only with one or two types of trucks that I knew inside and out that had parts readily available from my own yard that
Mm,
I could source easy. Um, because honestly, that's how I ran my personal vehicle forever. Like, yep, I'm getting a Chevy, and I'm just gonna beat the hell out of it, and I'm gonna pay less than 5 grand. I'm gonna drive it. I'm gonna sell it. I turned a lot of vehicles. I went through how many cars? I was always had a different car,
every year you had another car,
at
and
least.
and you would sell it for like the same price you bought it for. Like
Yeah.
I bought this car for 2 grand. I sold it for 1,900.
Yep.
But in the middle, you had to have repairs, and the repairs don't bug me. It's the downtime that bugs me.
Downtime sucks, but I mean, I always looked at it as a learning experience. Like that little Volkswagen I bought for $1,000.
Hmm.
It was a pain in the ass with all the sensors. Learned a lot about German engineering,
Yeah, from the
and
vaults. Yeah,
and I learned how to cobble stuff together. And then I sold it for $1,000. I'm like, okay.
right,
I had a couple days where I wasn't able to get into work on time because the damn thing wouldn't start.
right.
But I don't use vacation anyway, so
Yeah.
it was okay.
Well, it was fun. You had the energy for it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So of those three approaches, I'm really inclined to go with the first one, which
Well, if
is
you're running a business,
heavy financing.
if you're running a business, the business is financing it, and the business is operating it, and the business is writing it off. So
Mhm.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, my thought is simple math is if the business earns enough from the truck to have a good multiple, a good margin
Hmm.
on that debt service, that's a win. And then when you're ready to get rid of the truck, as long as it doesn't cost you money to get rid of the truck, like even if there's no you don't make any money on the sale, like you sell it for what the loan's worth,
Hmm.
it did its job, right? It made money for you during that time.
If you sold it for what the loan's worth and it didn't cost you too much in maintenance, you win.
Hmm. Right. And
So
people are always very happy to sell you a new vehicle, so it won't be hard to find a new vehicle,
yeah.
right? Now, it is possible where you combine the first two or the second two, but the first two where you just hold it through year 7 and you go, all right, could sell it, or I could just wait till something big goes.
Well, that's the nice thing. So since you are buying new vehicles and maintaining a good fleet, let's say you have to go into stage two, at least you know what you're starting with, you know. You hold them a little longer, you keep them going, you're very familiar with the truck, as
Yeah.
opposed to someone who's like, all right. So I tried to do a deal with this electrician and he couldn't keep a car on the road and he couldn't keep his cell phone going and he just couldn't get to work because he wasn't letting his business buy his vehicle. He was buying it the cheapest truck he could, and he was beating it to hell because he couldn't have any downtime,
Mm,
and he couldn't make any money because his truck was a problem. He should have gotten a nicer truck. Didn't have to be new, but a 3 year old truck because he only needs a pickup truck.
right.
If he just took out a loan and said, "All right, now I don't have to buy a new truck every 6 months, and
Hmm.
now I'm and now I'm not going to spend a week trying to find a truck or trying to, he spent so much time trying to fix this stupid thing. So stage three sucks. You have to have a shop and guys, and you have to be dumb enough to truck in the junk to fix. So yeah, you can start with one, have the company because the company writes it off. You have nice trucks. You go through your checklist. They'll
Hmm.
treat you good, and then you say it's just like a football team. They're players on your football team. So when I had my flat tire, and I was actually going to work. I knew I had to get it fixed that day. Well, it didn't let me. It stopped me on this. I was dead on the highway
I know I
after
was
I got right
I
on there. Yeah, you were there.
I was in Texas for that. That sucked.
That
Oof. Yeah,
sucked.
you didn't even go to the office, right? You just came home. You're like, I just spent half my day
Yeah,
getting my tire fixed. I was working on the phone, but it was not as productive as it could have been. You lost a
yeah.
lot of stress, and it was really
It
inconvenient.
cost it cost me $200,
Hmm.
more than $200. So for a stupid nail hole, I got my third day owning the truck. But
Yeah, that's right. That's what.
yeah, so I wore the head off the nail, and then the nail went through the tire, and it was on the
Mhm.
edge, and I couldn't fix it, and they obviously don't have the truck for they don't have the tire for the most common truck in Texas.
Right.
You guys are
It doesn't
stupid.
make sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
So
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
which makes me think we should open up something that's truck related as well if I'm going to run trucks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not I'm definitely going to use this is definitely a wisdom piece that you have. You are not your own customer, right? You are not your own
You're
customer.
not your own customer
Because if
because I'm a terrible customer. I don't want to be my own customer. I'm too cheap. I don't spend any money.
well, why would you build that infrastructure just to support your business? Just buy the thing you need, right?
Yeah, because what happens when you don't need that thing? Then you have all this you're splitting your focus. So it's
Yeah.
not worth it.
Yeah, focus is pretty darn important. Um, Really frustrating to think about how there's all these opportunities in front of us. Like if you want to open up 10 different businesses in an area, that sounds really fun, especially because it's, things are close by,
Hmm.
but you can't be an expert at 10 different things. And so these big companies, well, there's two types of big companies. A lot, but a very large sector of big companies, they just do a few things really, really well. If they're a
Hmm.
manufacturer, they just make things really good, and they'll
Yep.
have different ways they make stuff, but all they do is make stuff, right? So
Yep.
that's the hard thing is I don't want to just run trucks, especially because I'm a finance guy. I want to do finance things.
Yeah. Well, so you want to do one thing really well. You want to do business well.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people get stuck. Like, hey, I'm a baker. I like to bake. I'm gonna make cake. Well, that's different. Making cake and being a baker is different than being in business.
Yeah.
So a
Right.
businessman can say, I want to run a business that makes cake. See the
True.
difference? Now, now they are running a business that produces the product rather than they are producing the product. The businessman doesn't say, I want to make cake.
Hmm.
No, that's crazy.
Right.
So yeah, yeah, you're not running trucks. You are running a service. You operating a business that runs trucks.
Very good point. Very good point. Yeah. So targets are important. So I'm definitely going to be all about double. I want to double. Like I think that's an easy target to go after. To double the trucks, double the
Hmm.
revenue, but I'm going to do that through other people and other mechanism.
Right. Yeah, because you don't, yeah, you're not going to be driving a truck. You're not going to be turning a wrench. I mean, you might do some finance stuff up front for the business just to make sure it's in line,
Hmm.
until you can justify hiring someone full time to do that. Right now, I think you said that there's someone doing it, but it's
Yeah.
not a full-time job.
No, there's just a mechanic, a local mechanic that comes to the shop.
Oh, I was thinking of the finance girl.
Oh, that's different. No, that's different. You mean I thought you meant repairs and maintenance.
Oh
Work.
no, yeah, you just have a mobile mechanic right now.
Yes. Well, it's not even mine. It's just somebody that gets hired every time.
Hmm.
It's a contractor. You come over
Yeah,
and fix this truck. It's a repair guy.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I'd try and get to the point and say, at what point do I get a benefit of having my own mechanic? So,
Yeah, it's a cost thing. When I'm
um,
spending more than 50 grand on labor for repairs, that one guy could do, then you bring him in. But
aren't she
he's
close? Didn't he
mm,
spend like 100 grand one year?
he did spend, I think 30 grand is how much he spent last year. But that's also parts. That's not just labor. So you're still
Oh,
spending that
that's
money.
it's only 15 grand. That's not bad.
Yeah, but if you're running 10 trucks, you'd think you'd want somebody in house that knows how to fix trucks, even if it's not their. Yeah, no, I'd want somebody. I don't know.
Well,
I'm excited about this.
you
This is good.
you would want somebody who could also fix other trucks when he's not fixing yours.
Yeah. Well, that goes to having a repair shop
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
Or I
that's
could just have a good
serious.
relationship with the repair shop.
Yeah.
That's probably a better way to start. So timeline. Let's talk about timeline.
Okay.
Can we just talk about my business? Because
Yeah.
I literally tried to talk to mom about business, and every time we started to talk about it, she would bring up something not related to what I was talking about, but something she cared a lot about. Either it
She
was
she doesn't.
Laura in school, it was her and her horses, it was John working on things, it was
Hmm.
her family. I was like, okay, those are cool things, but I want to talk about my business. And
Yep.
I just had to shake my head, and I thought about how there's just no one that cares or understands at
Mhm.
all. I shouldn't say at all. There's just a very small number of people. There's you, there's my friend, my business colleagues in New York, Hal and Charlie and Sal,
Hmm.
and then there is my mentor here, Norm. Everyone else, they have a very narrow view of what they can talk about, and it's a short conversation.
Norm lives in North Carolina.
He's here in Raleigh. Yeah, yeah, he's nearby.
Wow, that's
So
good.
so timeline is him and I have a call Wednesday where we're going to talk about deep strategy.
Hmm.
Maybe not deep. I'd like it to be deep. We'll see how far we get, and what the pieces are. You know, immediately and then long term. So the plan
Hmm.
is to get this in August, purchase the business. I'm going to shadow the owner for probably just a week. It's probably only going to be a week where I'm with him and I'll be juggling my job, my current job.
Yeah.
I'll be very transparent with them about this at that point, which is I'm not looking forward to. But purchase the business. So shadow for a week. Let's say, I buy the business on August 31st. That's my drop dead date. So first week of September, it's mine. Like I bought it. I've done shadowing. I've met the employees. Um, I think I'm gonna cut the office manager because she's just good at books, which I can do. It's gonna
Mhm.
save me 45, 50 grand a year. That's a lot.
That's a
I'll
lot of
take
money.
I'll take that money and I'll hire Tony, the salesperson,
There you go.
because he's ripping and roaring and ready to go. Um, Norm believes that we can double the revenue in a year. If Tony's as good as we think he is, we could make it go from 1 million to 2 million in a year.
That's good.
And that's without adding service lines like Porta Johns, residential, commercial.
So you're gonna need to add trucks to do that because you said what, 250 a truck now, 350 is a max-ish for a truck
Yeah, it's just double the revenue, double the trucks. There's 4 running trucks, gonna have to be 8 running trucks.
in a
And
year.
I was worried about finding the next truck, and Steve was like, if I need a truck, you get a truck. You get a truck
Dude,
tomorrow.
they're throwing trucks out at. So now that this thing's been going on so long, yeah, they'll throw a truck at you.
Mhm.
0% financing even, I bet.
Something, I'll get a truck. Right? If there's
Yeah.
revenue, the revenue, got to have it rain. You need to rainmakers, and you are in sales, Dan, so you know better than anybody. You
Yeah.
got to make it rain. Which sucks is you're in a position where you're handicapped and you're not valued, and it just sucks.
I could do better, but it's different. It's different. I mean, my biggest customer cut their budget by 60%. That's
Right?
a big chunk. And
Yeah.
that was so they stopped all projects and they cut their turnaround budget, which is basically their maintenance budget, by 60%. So they are just almost full stop.
Man, that's bad.
Yeah, so yeah. But it's like that for everybody, but we'll get there. Or, I would love to help you grow this from 2 to 3 million or 2 to 4 million or so you said 1 to 2 million in 1 year with existing lines, and
And
that's
that,
not adding any porta johns, that's not adding residential, that's not adding front load.
right.
So I mean, you could be looking at 10 trucks next year.
Well, play number one is Outer Banks. Get Outer Banks under control. So Norm says 2 million is possible. I don't know if it is. I mean, that's very well. I shouldn't say that. It's gonna. He's probably right. And the way to do that though is not just by more selling. It's going farther. It's going farther. So I might have to open up a third yard.
That's what I was thinking. I was just gonna say you're looking at traveling just outside the Outer Banks to another populated area, like you were looking at Greensburg, right?
Greenville.
Greenville.
Mhm.
So there's that, and then what about the transfer station?
Yeah, I gotta make that phone call tomorrow.
Do you,
I gotta call my guy.
yeah, that's a 2-year process, right?
6 months. It's a 6 month process. It's a 6 month process if you've got everything lined up.
So can you put
So
it at Mans Harbor? How many acres do you need for a transfer station?
I do not know. I do not know how much I need. I could. I need to figure that out. And that's part of the discussion process with this gentleman. As I have to talk through what it takes to actually have a transfer station, what works, what's legit, what's going to stand. Because I don't want to make something that's just there for just to get going. I want something that's going to exist.
Yeah.
So I want to do it right. I don't want to be a perfectionist, but I don't.
Well,
There's models you
eventually,
can put in that are just they're not good. You just throw something together, and
yeah.
you won't make
Oh,
money on it.
yeah. Well, it's got to be big enough. So, I mean, imagine you want a transfer station there, but if your trucks are already going there, that's where you want your shop. So it's got to be big
Uh,
enough for that too.
I think so. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. Just making a note. Transfer station phone call. His name is Ray. I'll call Ray. Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So 2 million. So that's the Outer Banks. So that's plenty there. That's plenty to keep the sales guy busy. And
Mhm.
then talking about the next phase would be how do I get to here? How do I start in Raleigh? But I could start in Raleigh immediately. I could buy a truck, get some containers, and start driving my truck around. I
Do,
could
do
do
it. Do it. You already have your company name. You already have your insurance. At that point, you're as far as you're a truck and a container and a driver away. And you only need one. You don't need 10. You just need one here.
What do you mean? Just one truck?
Yeah, start with one truck.
That's true because anything is an ad. Well, mm,
The truck has to make 100,000 to break even, right?
what do you mean, revenue?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be different numbers in Wake County and these counties because the revenue is going to be lower.
Yeah, but your cost is lower because transfer,
No.
right?
Oh, yeah.
The weight per ton is different. That's a big part of your cost,
The
isn't it?
disposal is both the cost and the revenue. So if disposal is half, maybe it's $150,000 a year is how much a truck's going to make. You know,
Hmm.
let's say let's say 175. That's how much a truck is. I mean, I have metrics, but 175 is a truck. But it's got to be able to cover a big area. I can't just say I'm only selling in this corner of the world.
Well, that's nice about Raleigh, right? That's a pretty dense area. So you don't have to go so far to get as much revenue.
It's. I mean, traffic will throw you off if you got to spend a lot of time in traffic.
Only
That's when
turn
I
right. Only turn right.
only turn right. Don't go on the highway unless it's empty.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. But it's a competitive market. It's a growing market, but it's very competitive. So I have to
Yep.
break into that. So it would be better to have some networking, do some networking, and get some government contracts. Norm suggested I start talking to the counties right now.
Mm.
Like now is the time. Now that I'm launching this, it's time to talk to the counties.
Yep. I like it. And then ask them, hey, because how many transfer stations do you want? I mean, you're going to want one per county or even more that the counties you're doing business in, or what's your strategy? What's your plan? What's your motto? What's your vision?
The vision is really to do what's good, not what's selfish. If the market dictates that there's a vacuum, then I'll fill it. I mean, if there's a good example in Raleigh, South Raleigh, like the city of Raleigh,
Hmm.
there's already 2 transfer stations in the south end of Raleigh. I don't need to put another one there.
Right.
The reason why I'm attracted to doing a transfer station in the Outer Banks is because there really is a need that can be filled.
Hmm.
There is a county transfer station, but it's 8 miles off the coast and it's run by the county. you know, there's no privately run transfer station.
Hmm.
So I'd like to give that a shot.
So up in New York, the settlers bought that, or they got the rights to the harbor. Does the county ever do that with the transfer station? They put it out for bid or anything like that?
They will partner. There's a lot of instances where the county will say, hey, looks like we can't operate this at a profit. It's losing a lot of money. We got to shut it down or bring somebody else in to operate it for us. So
Mm.
there's actually a lot of companies that operate county landfills and transfer stations. Right here in Holly Springs, the landfill is operated by GFL, the Canadian company. It was
Hmm.
Waste Industries. Waste Industries owned all the waste in the state.
What happened? Why'd they let it go?
They sold it. They sold it to GF. They sold the whole company to GFL.
Oh,
GFL is the publicly traded company from Canada,
nice.
and that all happened last year. They bought Waste Industries, and they went public. JFL went public. They actually tried to go public 3 times before they finally did. I think that's
Hmm.
the number. They're so debt heavy that the price was gonna drop, and the investors would lose money on day one, which is not okay.
Hmm.
Not okay for them. That's why they're going public is to make money immediately.
Yeah, that sounds like corporate, which corporate kind of sucks.
Yeah, I
Corporate
think
kind of
it.
sucks.
So those are some timeline things. I think we should pause there. I'd like to dive in future calls. I'd like to dive into specific topics that we're trying to work through.
Okay.
Like maybe if I'm looking at trucks to buy or marketing strategies, selling options, upgrading a skill, something like that. Um, that's what
Okay.
I'm interested in talking about. Do you have any interests?
I'm interested in all that stuff. So I'm interested in business. I'm interested in setting my goal and my vision. I mean, I'd like to be part of what you're doing. That sounds
Mhm.
like a lot of fun. Not that I'm not having fun here, but
Yeah, I I would love you to be part of that. I'd like us to do this together. That would make it easy.
mhm.
I need to make enough money so I can do it full time. That
Yep.
is that is my current challenge. If I knew the business was just going to make $500,000 of profit, I'd be like, all right, let's go to town because that would be plenty for you and I to eat. But it's
Mhm.
not even going to produce enough for me to leave my current job. And they call that the golden handcuff. You got all these talented people that can do a lot of great stuff, but they make so much money that they
Yep.
can't leave that corporate ladder. They can't jump off that corporate ladder. And
Right.
owning not owning, but having a bank payment on a house like this and truck and car, that that makes it hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yep, but at least I can know I can sell this house immediately if I need to.
What's the loss on the house? How much would you lose?
I would lose the equity I put into it, like 40 grand. I would walk away with like 10 grand in money. Like
Mm,
I'd have 10 grand when I'm done, but I'd lose the money I put into it a year ago.
yeah, that's tough. That's hard, especially now.
It's an option, whatever. I mean it's only equity because I paid.
It's
It's,
it's bought equity. You didn't gain it through time or paying down interest. You bought it. So
no, I had to put a down payment on this house from my
yeah.
last house. So the equity from my
Oh.
last house basically went into this one, which I mean technically I have a lot of equity in the house, but you lose it all when you make a transaction.
Hmm. Well, you lose it all from the realtor, 7% taxes, 12%, right? What is it there? Eight, six? What's the?
No, I don't think I would lose on taxes because you have to make a profit to pay taxes on it.
Oh,
So I won't lose money on taxes. I'll lose money on the closing costs and the realtor. Couldn't I just sell it myself though? You can sell your own house.
yeah, you can. People sell their own business for more.
Yeah, it's going to cost less money to buy this business than it did to buy this house.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All right, so what's our agenda for next time we talk?
So when are we going to talk? We'll set a date. You want to
Let's
talk again this week?
let's
It's only
talk
Monday.
let's talk twice a week. Let's
Okay.
make that because once a week is if you miss it, you miss 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um,
Thursday?
yes, nothing's going on Thursday. Thursday.
All right, Thursday.
Okay, let's make it really simple. Bring
Okay.
3 things to talk about.
Okay.
And you can decide you can decide after this call, right after this call, or you can decide 5 minutes before the next call.
Okay.
Whatever you get, you're gonna get really good at improv.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask you, do you have a separate camera or are you using your computer camera?
This one's my computer camera. I do have a separate camera, but the microphone was horrible, horrible, horrible. So I
So
got rid of
you,
it.
your picture looks pretty good. Like it's pretty crisp. Mine looks really grainy.
Oh,
Does mine look clear or does mine look grainy on your screen?
yours is a little grainy, but not very much. I don't think it's that
Oh,
bad.
it's the I don't know. Maybe it's a little dark in here too, but here, I want to turn on some lights because I want to see if I should invest in a webcam because this is literally the first time I've ever used this webcam on this computer. So
Yeah.
let me turn it light.
Turn on a light.
Is that any better? No, it doesn't
Uh,
look any better.
it is better because there's light on you.
Hmm.
So you'll notice my face is very bright.
Yeah, you got one of those halo lights.
Shh.
Where's Candace? I got the camera working.
Hey, Candace.
I had to go and download something from.
So this is the light. This is what I. Oh, you're busy.
Yeah, GTO. Very cool.
So I guess this is what I look without the light. So this is what I stare at.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, you get used to it. I don't stare right at it, I should say, but somebody recommended I do this, and I'm glad that I took their recommendation seriously.
Mhm.
I can see it from outside. I was walking outside and I left it on once, and I was like, oh, people can see that from the street.
Mhm.
Yep. So
Yeah.
having a light on your face, on the front of your face, is good.
I have a light right up here.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah. But I don't think that, I mean, this is a 2015 computer, so it's already 4 years old. So it's got enough horsepower and enough memory and everything. It's just, it's probably got a low DPI camera
Could
versus
be.
yours, which is brand new last year. So,
Not last year. I got this for Bitcoin.
oh, 2 years ago.
I don't know.
3 years.
Maybe 17. Yeah, 3 years ago. Probably 3 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
When I was leaving NRC. Yeah, so this was good, Dan. This was fun. It's 10 o'clock, so we had a good, I don't know, 45 minutes. How long we talk?
Something like that. Isn't there a timer on this thing?
I'm sure there is.
Maybe somewhere.
Probably after we hang up. So I'm gonna end the video. We should watch it. We should upload it somewhere. Why don't I upload it to my YouTube channel? No one, I don't even know if it's public, but no
Yeah.
one's gonna watch it. And if they
I'll
do,
subscribe to you.
oh yeah, cool. Be my follower. Be my first follower.
Okay.
And then we'll talk on Thursday.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna go over to my printer. I might video conference you on Candace's phone with it because it's an iPhone.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know how to do it on mine. So I'll call you because the thing is working. So
Yeah.
I'm actually doing here. I'll send you a link. I'm doing it's called the Death Trooper skull.
Ooh, Death Trooper skull. Like death. What's a Death Trooper?
Just Google Death Trooper skull.
Okay. Well, how about I see it?
No, it's not going to be done.
Oh.
It's going to be half submerged underneath fluid.
Ooh. It's half death. Oh, it's the stormtrooper with a skull inside.
Yeah, but the type of it's a Death Trooper helmet.
Oh.
But yeah,
I don't know what a Death Trooper is. What's a Death Trooper?
It's got different things right here. They're a little bigger.
Cool.
But yeah, so I'm resin printing that right now. It's gonna be all gray, but I'll probably paint the skull white and I'll paint it up so it looks good.
Looks awesome.
But
It
yeah,
sounds awesome.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Great.
So yeah, I'll take you over there and I'll show you because I printed 2 test rooks, and it's a rook and it's hollow in the inside with like a DNA strand up through the middle and a staircase that lines up the middle, and it's a rook and you can see each individual step.
What? This is the new resin printer?
Yeah, it's that detailed. And I still have the parts in the cleaner. It's been hours. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it didn't melt them. Okay, Mike. I gotta go turn that off.
All right, man. I'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.